If you are looking for an absolute masterclass in sweeping mythological world-building, lethal celestial dynamics, and a pulse-pounding, deeply emotional enemies to lovers fallen angel tactical trajectory, you need to clear your calendar for Aimee Lynn. We are stepping directly into a dark, calculation-heavy fantasy realm with The King Has Fallen, a spectacular, high-gear, and beautifully executed series starter that establishes the kingdom of the Krow Chronicle as an elite, undisputed titan in modern dark romantasy. Let's lay out the strategic narrative grid. If you are a fan of stories where a ruthless, hyper-powerful immortal commander must navigate an absolute multi-realm throne war while tracking a fierce, unyielding heroine who refuses to be broken, where ancient celestial betrayals force rivals to continuously audit their internal loyalties, and where the author utilizes an incandescent captive force proximity diagnostic routine to test their psychological safety buffers, this book is engineered to lock you in. Lynn completely dominates the unput-downable high-stakes romantasy dynamic, capturing the heart-racing momentum, sweeping dark gravity, and unyielding psychological depth popularized by authors like Sarah J. Maas, Carissa Broadbent, and Rebecca Yarros, while treating deep-seated survival instinct, legacy manipulation, and raw, untamed devotion with exquisite care. The narrative tracking grid zeroes in on our alpha hero, a cold, calculation-heavy fallen monarch who operates under a strict, hyper-lethal focus on reclaiming his stolen throne. He doesn't follow destiny, he rewrites it, enforces his rule across fractured territories, and eliminates any celestial threat that crosses his active boundary lines. His entire existence has been engineered for tactical supremacy, his defensive perimeters locked down tight to protect his remaining immortal assets and secure his position at the absolute top of the realm's dangerous food chain. The spark ignites when our beautiful, fiercely resilient heroine breaches his inner territory. She is a walking act of defiance, carrying a quiet grace, a sharp tongue, and an incredibly painful hidden history that fuels her survival mechanics. She isn't a passive asset to be played with. She is a high-intellect target who becomes captured in his web, triggering an immediate total system failure in his cold, clinical logic. The tactical parameters explode into open warfare as enemy factions begin circling their assets from all directions. The investigative tracking clock drops into an incredibly hostile rhythm as the forced proximity reality of her captivity turns his private mountain stronghold into a volatile psychological pressure cooker. Our dark anti-hero transforms into an unyielding, entirely pragmatic shield, deploying his massive celestial tradecraft and lethal physical presence to establish an absolute security perimeter around her life when outside forces try to permanently erase her from the sector. Every late-night psychological standoff, every tense confrontation with rival courts, and every fiercely possessive touch chips away at the respective logical defense mechanisms. What follows is an exceptional, high-stakes war of psychological perspective and raw survival. They find their clinical defense mechanisms completely unwrapped by each other's presence. While he smooths over her external threats with devastating force, she becomes the only stabilizing asset capable of holding his dark soul together when his kingdom faces a total structural breach. It is a dark romantasy / enemies to lovers suspense / captive romance / slow burn and mortal anti-hero drama masterpiece that treats deep mythological logistics and raw emotional intensity with elite precision. The tension here burns with a sharp, calculation-heavy intensity. We are talking about that high-frequency I will burn down the heavens to keep you energy, where a sudden shift in court dynamics, an unexpected encounter behind locked fortress gates, or a heavy, possessive wing beat shielding a target behind a row of ancient stone pillars carries massive structural weight. Lynn writes with an exceptionally fresh, vivid, and beautifully blunt voice, perfectly capturing the clinical chill of underground dungeons, the lavish luxury of immortal keeps, and the distinct, subtle scent of ozone, rain-slicked feathers, dark magic, and pure, unadulterated passion. What truly elevates this milestone series starter into elite territory is the author's unmatched ability to write realistic emotional resilience alongside breathless romantic heat. Our heroine isn't a fragile captive waiting for rescue. Her immense psychological grit, razor-sharp wit, and deep capacity to withstand the dark match the complexity of the psychological world her captor dominates step for step, making her choice to surrender to the fire feel profoundly authentic and deeply gripping. The pacing moves with calculated momentum, tracking intense emotional stalemates and breathtaking physical defensive sequences before ratcheting up to an absolute jaw-dropping climax that delivers permanent, hard-earned setup for the next tactical phase. The King Has Fallen is the definitive pro-level upgrade your dark contemporary romantasy and high-stakes epic fiction library demands right now. It is elegant, immensely fast-paced, and utterly unputdownable. It proves that when your entire life is surrounded by darkness, the most revolutionary play you can execute is to burn the world down with the one who matches your chaos. So, secure your personal reading sanctuary, review your emotional defensive perimeters, open your Kindle, and prepare to join the Fallen.